and glory.
Nice ball, mate. Come on, let's fuck it on. Good polish.
That's us. Well, there seems to be somewhat of a problem there with the playing of the national anthems. I think they would be far better advised to get on with the game, and I think the referee, Monsieur Thierry Alibert, has decided to do so. The players kept a little longer, Joe.
Yeah, it's a shame that, because it is so important for the players as well to sign themselves up for part of the game. The national anthem is so important for spectators and players alike.
One or two surprises in that England team. St Helens fullback Paul Wellens taking over the wing role from the injured Leon Price. Chris Radlinski, another full-back, having a run in the centre, and a half-back Tony Smith starting in the hooker role. Only one survivor from the 1995 World Cup squad, Sheffield Eagles Wembley hero Vaisali Sovatambour at stand-up. But look out for that full-back, Lotta Tungiri, an exciting loose forward, Atu Vunivalu. And the war cry, the dance, known as the Thimbi in Fiji. Always well appreciated by the rugby league crowds, the war cries of Fiji and Samoa, the Maori, the Kiwis. Andy Farrell, unperturbed. Played in all three group matches. And Lotta Tungiri, the youngest World Cup captain, just 21 years of age. 18 points against Russia last week. And we're underway. The weather quite good here after the buffeting of the last week. We had a 1.5 inches of rain here in Leeds, but I must say, Joe, the pitch is in excellent condition.
Yeah, the groundsman here, Ian Barker, and his crew have done an exceptional job when you consider the conditions, the adverse weather conditions throughout the country, not just here in Leeds. And this pitch really is marvellous, but it is heavy underfoot, and it may just be resulting in a few tired legs by the end of this game and a couple of gaps which may be exploited, probably by England, but Fiji not without talent.
Robart at acting half-back, just looking to get this ball well away. Darren Rodgers. Back inside to Stuart Spruce, happily recovered from that stomach bug that kept him out of the clash with Australia at Twickenham last Saturday.
And this is important too with Stuart Spruce in the back line. Three full-backs on display in the back line. Maybe lacking a little bit of pace, but certainly a sure in defence. It's just how they blend together.
Well, probably explain why those full-backs are all in there in the back line. We've had wingmen ruled out. There's one of them. We've had Leon Price ruled out of the tournament this morning. Francis Cummins, Nathan McAvoy. And down there on the touchline this afternoon, we've got Damien Johnson. Any news down there, Damien?
Yeah, light shower just before kick-off, Ray, will make the ball a little bit greasy. Conditions underfoot are going to be a bit heavy. And England have a little breeze behind them, which may help in this first half.
Superb catch there from Lotta Tungiri, the Brisbane Broncos Grand finalists, and good strong burst there from Bolokoro. Good tackle too there.
Tungiri did well, didn't he? The captain, a lot of experience as well with the Brisbane Broncos. It's a nice little kick from Farrell with the wind behind him, just waited it, but a good catch by Tungiri.
Wingman, back at Roa. Bringing the ball in, they'll be well coached, this Fijian side. Don Ferner, the former Kangaroo coach of the 86 Kangaroos, he's in charge, and certainly a hard taskmaster. But Fiji struggling a little bit to get out of this 20-30 metre area. The wind aiding England at this time. Fifth tackle. Tungiri again. Does well. Nice little chip kick now then. Will he get the bounce? Oh, he does. He's got support with him here. Good, strong run there from Rakanbula. But the ball gone loose.
Excellent play for Fiji. Tungiri, a little chip over the top for himself, did collect it. Darren Rogers caught a little bit by surprise, was expecting the kick downfield, I think. And then the pass inside, Rakanbula with the headgear on, pushes off Spruce, but Long gets back to cover. And that's just, it's just a warning that, because that's what Fiji are capable of. Good, attractive form rugby. They're not frightened to run the ball when you may expect them to be kicking downfield.
Well, they beat Russia at Barrow last weekend, 38 points to 12. They can score tries. Monsieur Alibert from Albi in France getting Fiji back. I saw this referee have a good game, Joe, at Wrexham for the Wales Cook Island game.
He's an experienced referee now from France, Monsieur Albert. Well, Fiji have having problems just getting back the distance. They're very keen on defence, but they've been caught offside there, and it's a great platform and great position for England.
Paul Anderson slipping the ball down that right-hand side there to Jamie Peacock. 3 metres from that line. Oh, he's gone behind. Back to Sean Long. Long back inside there. Deacon. Tony Smith. Good strong burst there by Andy Hay. That'll be a try. Good step, good handoff there by Hay. We don't see too many handoffs in the modern game, but that was effective. 4 points. No need to go to the video referee from Monsieur Alibert. Good start for England then. And the favourite here is Andy Hay, leads at second row. Former Red Hill amateur. And a proud day for the Red Hill amateurs. Paul Anderson as well in there.
Smith putting the ball out to the left-hand side. Hay looked to his support, to his left, but didn't need it. The big handoff and straight through. What's got to be said is pretty weak defence, so close to the try line of Fiji. A flat line, not much on, but then Smith and Long recognised that the gaps were on the left-hand side. Numbers were out there, not enough defenders. Navala just left the space on the inside, and Andy Hay with a strong fend gets across for England's first try.
Andy Farrell with the kick, and successful. England then in the lead, 6 points to 0, and that will warm a few thousand of those England supporters underneath the south stand here.
This try come in basically because England were awarded the penalty for offside, and once they'd got through and set up the position, then they were always going to score. So Yamba missed the tackle, a bit of a mismatch inside against Andy Hay, and first blood to England.
Yeah, there is a mismatch inside. Paul Anderson, the 17.5 stone Bradford Bulls giant, but these Fijians, they do like to make the big hits. Smith.
I was going to say, Don Furness spent a lot of time this week trying to control that aggressive nature in defence and make a more structured defence, rather than just going for the individual big hits. They know about their flair with the ball in hand, but they really have to close up the gaps in defence.
Anderson again charging him, but again, good defence from Vakatoa. Farrell, a well-intentioned pass, but I think a little too strong, a little bit too powerful there. A very strong win behind the backs of England.
Yeah, the cut-out pass, I'm not sure there was the right pace on that ball. Radlinski wasn't aware that he was a decoy, and Rogers on the wing, unable to collect. So the feed at the scrum to Fiji.
As we can see, well over a stone a man difference in the two packs.
Mistake by Rakanbula.
Stuart Spruce doing well to come down this right-hand side. Holding down.
Well, a mistake on the first tackle from the feed at the scrum. England almost given possession straight back, and another chance just to build on it, move downfield, use the big forwards. Stevenson powering it up. They'll now look for quite an early backline, I believe.
Jamie Peacock. Interesting to see the number 9, Tony Smith, normally a half-back, been brought in for his first start from the beginning here as a hooker.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience and he's a great influence on the club sides. Unfortunately, during the season with Wigan, now on his way to Hull, but in the hooking role and showing great skill. Again, Fernande here.
England again on the attack down that left-hand side. We've got Farrell there. And would you believe it, sun actually coming out here for the Lincoln World Cup. On the 5th tackle, Long. Oh, well read by Sobatambua. Just in the right place at the right time. I think Long once again just aiming that ball at that upright.
He was, and Radlinski was on there. If he could have collected, he perfectly timed his run. But Savatabua, the player with success in the Challenge Cup with Sheffield Eagles, got back and covered well.
Fiji then trying to bring this ball away. Only been playing International Rugby League just over 5 years. Started their international life as a 7-a-side team in Sydney, but one of the full member nations of the international board now.
This time Fiji do kick.
Not the best of kicks, direct to Spruce and Rogers.
Rogers brought into the squad and into the team through injuries, and he'll be looking for a big performance today. He wants to not only England to qualify after these group stages, but also to establish himself in the team for the quarterfinals, should England be successful this afternoon.
Smith again, putting a lot of pressure on them there now. Sean Long, he's got some pace. Can Sean Long go all the way? Certainly this man Balance can. Good try! Excellent try there for the St Helens youngster. He made his debut against Australia, but that had to be scored. When Long gave that ball out to the wing, there was a lot to do for that young lad. He did it.
Well, St Helens teammates combining, but just watch the lovely pass which Sean Long received. He was able to run onto the ball and use his electric pace. Smith bringing it across from the hooking spot, and Sean Long ran at speed and collected that ball. It caused confusion. The backs were turned of the Fijian defence. Combined with his St Helens teammate Wellens, still a lot to do, and so again some slack tackling. Navala at the end, they're desperate to try and stop the try being scored.
And I think you know, if we look at that try, Joe, you know, some excellent play there by Wellens, but one problem was for Fiji is that lad Navali, he turned his back on the ball carrier, and when you do that, Joe, you're beaten.
Well, on three separate occasions there, we had players in the Fijian defence turning their backs, and when you have players like Sean Long, elusive players like Sean Long running at you, as soon as the decision is made even harder with your back turned, then he's going to exploit it and score it. Farrell with a chance to convert from the touchline.
Farrell does convert from the touchline in fine kicking form, this England skipper. Nearly 2,000 points from the lad in 9 seasons, and 12-0 already for England.
Yeah, Long sprinting, ball in 2 hands, looking for support, and the Fijian defence, Navala and Bolokoro, just weren't up to it. Both got back, but both missed tackles, and Wellens scores in the corner.
There is the lad who was turning his back, Eparama Navali from the Northern Eagles. It's almost like a game of 10-pin bowling, this, with Paul Anderson.
He's definitely up for, isn't he, Paul Anderson? He's, I think, the bench too.
Go, David. Well, it's interesting to see that Sean Long created that try for Wellens, and he and Paul Deacon combining at half-back today. They're, of course, club rivals, but big friends. They room together.
Well, they certainly combined well in the second half against Russia, 2 in midweek. 18 points from Long, in fact, on the 5th tackle. Oh, that's a difficult ball there. Well, the poor lad there, Nico Vakaroaroa, the sun in his eyes. He did well to get away with that.
A towering kick from Deacon into the corner, using the wind and the sun, which is in Vakaroro's eyes. He couldn't collect it, and he was pleased, I'm sure, to see that ball go dead in goal. But now Fiji have the problem of trying to advance the ball upfield into a wind, and strong defence by England.
Thacker checking the ball down that blind side. A lad from plays his rugby with Queensland in Cootamundra. Just one of these Fijian players, Waisali Sabatabur, left from that 95 World Cup. Very young side. Certainly, I think they're a little shell-shocked at the moment. Certainly this man isn't, though. He's a classy player. Lotta Tungiri. Well read by Hay. Good support there from Spruce. He sees the gap. Good tackle by Sabatabur. And again holding down.
Well, that's going to be a problem for Fiji all afternoon. They got to the 5th tackle in that set of 6. They didn't kick deep downfield, a little chip over the top, and then in desperation to try and keep England pinned in their own half, just a second attempt at the tackle and a penalty given away by Sabatabur on that occasion. But again, England in great field position, looking to add a 3rd try in these early stages.
Already we can see that England's defence quite solid, not a tackle missed. But here is the attack. Hits that man long again. He's lost it.
3 tackles missed by Fiji, but also it just shows how much possession England have had.
Screw for Fiji.
Yeah, Sean Long in, carrying the ball in 2 hands, looking for support, trying to cause problems, trying to fix defenders, but that was a good hit by the Fijian.
Play.
Jimmy Polakoro trying to help out the pack there. I think we should remember that Fiji are facing a very, very strong wind.
Offside, 12.
Offside against England. The referee, Monsieur Alibert, Joe, he's quite precise.
He is, yes. He's doing really well. He's controlling the game well. His interpretations seem to be sound. I'm not sure on his pronunciations, but then again, I'm not sure on ours.
Hey! With me! Okay.
Fiji then really trying to mount their first genuine attack. Vakatoa did well to get them all out.
With me!
Robar down this side to Sabatabur.
The little kick through, he's attempting to put his wingman through a gap. Sabatabur, but unfortunately no chance. And a substitution on.
Vuniyalu. Good strong run there from Jamie Peacock. A lot of rivalry here between people like Peacock and Hay and Fielden for the back row spots. Farrell did well to get that ball out there. Radlinski.
Yeah, number 3, Rakabula's off the pitch receiving treatment. He's just been substituted. His left eye is badly closed. He's clearly taken a knock, and the physio's having a look at him.
Did we get a good tackle there from Univalu, the loose forward?
And Balilala as well in there to help out.
But it's England now trying to mount another attack down that blind side. Hay again, he's having a good game as this leads back row 10 metres from the Fijian line. Smith finds support with Long again. Good short pass. Fielden's going over. It's a try. Peacock in for a try.
Almost too easy for England. Sean Long at the heart of everything that's good for England so far, with ball in hand, just causing problems. The delayed pass on this occasion to find Fielden, and then the step off the big man to score the try. But you've got to say again, Ray, weak defence really from Fiji, particularly on their own line. They can put the big hits in upfield, but they have to get organised near the line.
Yeah, and causing problems for me too, these back rows. They're all over the pitch at the moment.
Well, I followed your lead. It is Peacock that takes the ball. Just a step off the left foot by Peacock as well. A poor attempt by Bulakoro to try and stop him, and also his teammate in the number 11 jersey, Wawa Mia, just couldn't stop him, but Long again involved. Just waiting here as he receives the pass, and then the delayed ball through to Peacock for the try, and enough strength and speed to get across.
As you were saying, Joe, the Fijians do tend to rush in very, very quickly to make the tackle, and they can be wrong-footed, can't they?
Particularly right on the line in conditions like this, and particularly when you're facing elusive footwork from people like Sean Long. But it was a pass that caused problems on that occasion. Again, Farrell from the sideline, and again, Farrell is accurate.
Deadly boot of Andy Farrell. 18 points to nil. Convincing opening then for England.
Sean Long, just watch him now. That little delay of the pass made sure that Savatabua was committed, and then his number 5, Bulakoro, came in to try and stop Peacock. There was no way he was going to halt such a big player.
I think the one difference you can see there is that, you know, you've got to really be committed into the tackle. We're talking about a stone plus amount the difference in this England pack to the Fijian 6.
And the Australian coach, Don Ferner, who's in charge of Fiji, has been working on that one, but it's very difficult in competition to try and adjust a defensive line to cope with the power and pace that England possess.
Well, I don't know whether the Fijians can understand
20 meters.
Monsieur Alibert.
Put it in. Play.
Fiji then in possession.
Get off. Get off. Play. Two. With me.
Not really putting too much pressure on this England defence. Robart again with the substitute there, Roger Matakami Kamitha.
Get off.
But England are aware too that they do have quality. Fiji, they can open up a defence given the chance, so it'll be a good test for them.
Vakatoa.
4.
Fiji just need to run from a little bit more depth. They need to be a little bit flat at the moment.
5 and love.
Vunivalu on the 5th tackle. Now then, what sort of a kick? No, they're not. Oh, there's a chance. Oh, Spruce did well to get his hands in, but it's a knock-on.
Valilala got the second attempt to it with the boot, and Spruce did get down quickly but couldn't collect it cleanly, so it'll be a scrum with the feed to Fiji.
For Fiji.
Valilala, a little kick, second attempt to hack through, and Spruce got down well, covered it in the right position but couldn't bring it into his body and make it safe, so it'll be a scrum feed, a great position for Fiji to attack.
Good chance for Fiji then. Tungiri.
Get off. Get off.
Just 5 metres then from that England line. The substitute, Buniyawa, having a go himself. 2 metres now. Can Fiji force the way over? Here's a chance.
Freeze. Get off.
No.
Good defence from Radlinski, just making sure he got low enough to stop the dive towards the line.
Tui Yamba, the scrum half. No way through again. Still Fiji on the attack. Vakatoa. Still the England defence holds. They really would do well to move it out wider. But stays a chance. Oh, and he's in!
Yep,
Navali in down the left there. But he wants a little view, I think, of the video referee. This could be a touchdown here for the Northern Eagles centre. I can remember him scoring a try in '96 with the President's 13 in Nandi when we were on tour there with the Lions.
Navala does well if this try is awarded, but again it was a mistake by Stuart Spruce. He seemed to have the ball collected from the kick from Savatabua. Just watch as he puts it to the ground, kicks it through. Spruce is there, covers it well, and then it just squirts out the ball. Very quick onto it is Tungari, and then handed on to Navali. I think that's a try. I don't think there's any problem. He got over the top of Sean Long.
And I think also there was a hint of obstruction there from Scott Naylor on Tungiri.
We go from a different angle. Savatabua sees him as a chance to put the ball in behind the defensive line. Deacon tracks back, you're right. Naylor just holding back. Spruce spills the ball. And Tungari and Navali combine. Navali spotting that there's a bit of a mismatch here with Sean Long, the number 6 for England. Uses his strength, upper body strength, pushes him off and grounds that ball. That'll be a try.
Looks a try to me, Joe. I think possibly he was looking to see if he was offside. But here we are, it's a try.
And a warning to England that they cannot be complacent in this match, because Fiji do possess the talent and speed and just showed their power to cross the line, so they must make sure their defence, their first up tackles, but also any kicks that are through on the floor or in the air, they have to make sure. In weather conditions like this, you can't afford to spill the ball.
Well, we know they can score tries, Joe, because they scored 2 tries against Australia, when Australia, prior to this World Cup final, were actually saying that no one would score a try against them.
I think they would just like it to be a little bit warmer, a little bit more firm underfoot. Let's see how Tangiri copes with the kick.
He's already helped himself to 22 points in this World Cup. 3 tries and 5 goals. Perhaps the best known of the Fijian players. He regularly features with the Brisbane Broncos, was in the winning Aussie Grand Final side. A chance to add the conversion then. No.
A little bit leisurely from Lotto Tungari, and instead of 6 points on the board for Fiji, just the 4. England still leading 18 points to 4. Convincing start, but they'll be worried about that little lapse.
But at least this try, Joe, does show how dangerous that they can be, given a loose ball and given an opportunity.
Well, Spruce collected it. I don't think the conditions helped him, but still the opportunity presented to Fiji. Sean Long tries to put the one-on-one tackle and prevent the ball being passed, but the power of Navali in evidence, and the try scored.
Fiji may be one of the novices in international rugby league, but I'm sure one or two of the older connoisseurs of the 13-a-side game remember Joe Lavula and Laishi Ravuvu, Mike Ratu and co, who came across in the 60s with Rochdale Hornets.
We've just seen a planned substitution, I'm sure, with Harvey Howard coming on, replacing Anderson, just resting the forwards. The ability for the coaches to change their pack and the shape of the team, rest a couple of people.
Tungiri with the kick, and again I think we can see from that kick the strength of that wind that is facing the Fijians, or the Batties as their nickname is for Warriors.
It's all the more important that England utilise the strong breeze in the first half, get field position, pin them down and try and make mistakes, force mistakes for Fiji, I should say, and then capitalise on them, because if they make mistakes in their own half, as we've just seen, Fiji will score.
Thaka trying to burst his way through.
That's better defence though from England.
Paul Rowley here on the bench with me. Satisfied 18-4 in the lead?
Yeah, we're satisfied with the lead. You know, we've set a goal to keep them down to 2 or less tries, which of course Australia only let 2 tries in. So, you know, we know they're a tough outfit. It's going to be harder than the Russian game. So
They caught you on the break a couple of times.
yeah, that's right. They're no mugs, these guys. They've got a couple of ARL players. The full-back in particular is a very good player. So, you know, there's plenty of guys who can do us damage.
Conditions out there not the best. It's pretty heavy underfoot.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but it's you know, it was heavy at Twickenham and at Knowsley Road, so these are the best conditions we've played in yet.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Paul Rowley there, the England hooker, and outstanding in midweek against Russia, having a rest. Sean Long. England trying to play the ball quite quickly to, I think, tire these Fijians out. A lot of them, especially the pack, only playing for teams in the New South Wales and Queensland leagues in Australia, perhaps might not have the fitness of their England counterparts. Naylor.
I was going to say, I've been impressed with the start that Smith has made in the hooking role. Again, England exploiting the weakness down their left-hand side, Fiji's right.
Good covering tackle there from Tui Yumbayamba, the little half-back. And that's a good kick. Well taken by Wellens. Owen beautifully slipped one-handed to Naylor, and that surely will be a try. Less than 26 minutes gone. Scott Naylor's in, but that was superb work again by that St Helens youngster.
England taking the ball to the left-hand side, and then the high kick across. It looked to be covered by Fiji. They had 3 players in the area, but a great take from Wellens. Climbing high to collect, and then finding Naylor in support. Here is the high-hanging kick. Wellens does superbly to get above Navali. Buckalore on hand, but he couldn't prevent here Scott Naylor not only getting to the try line, but as Tangiri comes in, Naylor uses his strength and slams that ball down. Great try for England, well worked.
Well,
got to give credit to Wellens, though, haven't you, Ray?
Scott Naylor's a bit, yeah, you have, but Scott Naylor's a very direct, no-nonsense type of centre. He's a 16-stone centre, one of the modern giants who seem to appear in the centres these days, and Andy Farrell looking to maintain a 100% record, and he does. 4 from the Wigan and England skipper, and I'm sure England coach John Keir will be quite pleased.
I'm sure he will. They'll have been a little bit upset that try was conceded. Rowley just mentioned that they wanted to keep Fiji down to just 2 tries, but I'm sure they want to score as many as possible. There's Don Ferner, the Australian who's coaching Fiji. He'll be a little bit worried. Deakin, the high kick into the left-hand side of the defence. Navali couldn't collect. Scott Naylor takes a pass from Wellens, who does so well.
Well, that was a good combination, Joe. That was very, very good thinking from the youngster Wellens. Many a player would just have gone down on the floor, content to keep the ball, but he kept it going. And here, here's a former Leeds favourite, Harvey Howard, now playing, or did last season, with the Brisbane Broncos. And there is Stuart Fielder. Terrific run. All of these forwards desperate to impress John Keir to get in the 6 for a quarter-final spot. Oof. Not the best of passes.
No, Andy Farrell just acknowledges that it wasn't. Missed again, Chris Olinsko. Rogers couldn't collect it. That's the second time that he's found wanting with his pass from right to left. Trying to miss Andy Hay out across the front of his body, but Radlinski too low, the ball dipped, and Rogers couldn't control it. And that's a worry, because those are the kind of mistakes, maybe not so much in this game, as we look at the top tackles there. Fiji putting all the work in to try and keep England out, with 14 leading the way, but it's not so much that this game that counts, it's mistakes in the further stages of this competition. Australia, maybe Ireland awaiting the quarterfinals.
Valilala, Sami Valilala from the Urimba club there in Suva. And the other second row, Pethley Wawamia. In a sense, Joe, I think Fiji are actually keeping the ball a little bit too close. This is not their normal style of play. They tend to throw it all over the field.
They do. Maybe that's been worked on. Maybe that's been suggested by the coach, Don Ferner. But I think a lot to do is with the conditions.
That's a good pass.
Well, that's more like their style of play. It was on the last tackle, and therefore the handover to England.
That, as you say, Joe, is more like their style of play, and they do like to run, they like to take people on, just as Bolakoro did there. But it's England now, still in possession. Youngster Wellens. These England forwards fairly rampaging down the middle, really making that extra weight tell. Harvey Howard. Good strong run, but a good tackle there by the hooker, Fred Robar. Farrell. Peacock. Still looking for a way through.
They're making good yards eventually. Good strong running from Peacock. Not a lot on, and a good pass too, with Smith in support.
Smith, good ball, Spruce. These Fijians having difficulty putting one man down. Andy Farrell looks for support, he finds it. Deakin, he's got Scott Naylor. Sean Long now then, he'll have a run. He does, there's a gap there. Well, there was a gap.
Vunivalu shut it very quickly.
He did. The Sarua Dragons forward. Really with an intimidating... Oh, that's head-high tackle, no problem at all.
No, take her down.
It was high. Initially I thought he just used the shoulder, but you could clearly see on that replay it was the arm and it was high.
The Frenchman, Monsieur Alibert, telling him to settle down. And England opting to run the ball.
Get off!
Smith working well at dummy half. Smith going for the ball himself. He gets it across there. England are in again. Chris Radlinski, the scorer. But once again, it was that man, Tony Smith, making good use of his speed, his half-back skills, playing in the hooker role, and coming away and providing that try for Chris Radlinski.
The right decision not to go for goal from the penalty. They decided to tap it and run it. Smith's played well in his opening exchanges. He's getting away from dummy half. He's using his speed and elusive running. Again, he picks up, sets off and attacks the defensive line, gets halfway through the gap and then looks for support. Not the best pass, but it does eventually find Radlinski, his former teammate at Wigan, collects it high. The wingman, Vakaroroa, comes across, but he can't stop Chris Radlinski from scoring the try in the corner, and that was good work from Smith.
I think Radlinski just showed his full back roll there, the way he leapt for that ball. He took it well, and he was into the corner. Farrell then, with the kick, he loses that 100% record, but I don't think he'll be too bothered at this stage in the match with a scoreline of 28 points to 4.
He'd have liked to have kept the 100%, though. He would like to keep the points machine rolling. Smith picking up, spotting that there's just a half a gap, that the Fijians hadn't moved up in a straight defensive line again, and then when the pass went over, looping over the defence, Radlinski scores in the corner, just testing Farrell's skills that seem to be scoring pretty wide out.
Fiji losing to Australia at Gateshead in midweek by 66 points to 8, and I just have a feeling, Joe, that England might be trying to top that 66, just to put a marker down to Australia.
I think you're exactly right, Ray. Not only do they want to top it and score themselves, but keep Fiji down to just 2 tries, ensure they are their equal. It's a good psychological advantage. There is Don Fernan, the coach for Fiji, looking on. He's a little bit worried, I'm sure, particularly the gaps that are starting to appear in the Fijian defence.
But these Fijians, they're not giving in. They are going into the tackle. They may be lighter, they may be smaller, but they're having a go. Farrell looks to get it back to Radlinski. That was well slipped. Deacon again to Sean Long. These two half-backs and Smith, the midfield trio, running riot here now. Fiji really have to settle them down.
That just shows, doesn't it, in the graphic there, with 64% time in the opponent's half. England are dominating this first half. They've had one little lapse where Fiji scored, but again they come forward and Spruce has a chance to offload. Deacon goes for the high kick into the left-hand corner.
Oh, that's a good kick. He's there, Radlinski. Oh, can he get it back? No, Fiji have saved the situation. It looked a certain try, but all credit there to Vakaroroa. He got down, he picked up the ball. And the poor lad's just being pushed back. Well, that really shows a determination in this England side.
Well, they're annoyed with themselves because they bombed a chance. There was a great kick across field to the left-hand side from Deacon. Radlinski did collect it, and I thought if he just used his weight here and be a little bit more forceful rather than pushing the ball onto Rodgers, he would have scored himself. Rodgers stood a little bit too far away, admiring Radlinski's work to collect the ball, and a try lost, I feel.
Yeah, the wingman Vakaroroa, he did well there, Joe. A little bit more strength, upper body strength than what I thought, but still the pressure on the Fijians. Good kick, taken by Deacon. Rodgers.
As we creep just towards half-time, there's still a little work to do.
For England, Damien McGrath, the assistant coach for England, is here with me on the touchline. Happy with the scoreline, but 1 or 2 errors on England's part.
The main focus we were putting on was defence, and we're very happy with our defence so far.
Rodgers is in, tried there at the corner, good quick handling down the left. And Darren Rodgers, the Castleford wingman, he's in there. Top try scorer for Castleford for the past 2 years, drafted into this England side, and he's celebrating already. He took that well. It had to be scored, he had to get in at the corner, Joe. He hadn't got much room to work in.
No, but this is what we wanted just before the half-time interval. They wanted to get a few more points on the board and just continue to dominate. Rodgers did well. He'd missed a couple of chances that were presented to him, mainly through bad passes. Radlinski couldn't promote the ball to him, but on that occasion he collected it well. and set his sights on scoring in the corner. Again, it's not an easy kick for Farrell, is it? They've pinned him to the sidelines with these conversion attempts. Missed only one so far.
He's got quite a strong wind behind him, but not the easiest of kicks. He certainly strikes it well. The direction is there. Just edges over that crossbar. 2 more points then. A hint of a smile from the England skipper. And 34 points to 4. Convincing performance from England. This is real World Cup stuff.
Pleasing for team and coaches alike here. Again, Hay involved. Berlinski, nice little passes he draws. Bakaroro, the wingman, in, leaves Rodgers with space on the outside to score. And it was despite Toa Yumba coming across to make the tackle, he couldn't prevent Rodgers from scoring. That might be the last try before the half-time interval, but again, you look at England now to bring it up with Howard, make a dent in the defence, and then have one more chance maybe to score a try before the break.
Simple tactics from England, using these big heavy men. Howard, Anderson in the first 2 or 3 tackles, and then spreading it wide when the pressure has been put on the Fijian midfield, and Fiji having to crowd in the middle to stop the big men. Naylor, good burst inside, he's got Deacon with him, he looked for support, long, oh, it was a well-intended pass, slightly forward, Wellens couldn't take it, but it was just illustrating that England tactic, driving for 2 or 3 down the middle and pushing it wide.
Yeah, unfortunately, because Deacon just had done so well. He's involved in a couple of moves. He's alternating with Smith at the acting half-back position. Smith playing hooker, remember, this afternoon. But Deacon going in there also, an assistant acting half-back, causing the problems, again with speed and pace, getting off the mark, getting away from the markers. But Wellens just unable to collect that one. They may still have another chance before half-time.
Polakoro taking the ball well. Tungiri trying to get his Fijian attack going. He's a lot to do as that Brisbane Broncos lad. And England coming up with the ball.
Back to 1.
Back to 1, another 6 tackles. Harvey Howard relishing the charges down the middle. But I don't think he relished that tackle.
No, it was the high shot. Clearly above the collar on Harvey Howard. And again, England decided to run it rather than take the 2 points that were on offer.
Spruce all creating space down this side. Still going, difficult to put down. It's taking 2 and 3 of these Fijians now. Sean Long down this side. It's a try. Peacock again. No hesitation from the Frenchman, the referee. England further ahead, 38 points to 4, and the Fijians really on the end of a rout here.
Well, Navale may have scored Fiji's only try, but he's been found wanting on a few occasions in defence. This time Sean Long it is that runs from acting half-back, finds Peacock, who just powers through. Bokaloro and Navari cannot prevent him scoring, and it's got to be said, weak defence.
Well, weak defence and all, let's give credit to that lad there, Jamie Peacock. He only made his way into the first team there at Bradford in '99, but he really has stamped himself on this World Cup. Second try this afternoon for the former Stanley amateur. And Farrell, he will be looking for the good points haul. Ooh, it's just going in, it's over. Superb example of kicking from the skipper. 40 points to 4. And there is the half-time hooter.
He's the replay. I was going to say it's Navali who's missing. It's Wasile Savatabuta, the standoff that gets pushed out of the way for the try by Peacock as they come to the right-hand side. Just barnstorming run, same position, makes it a difficult conversion for Farrell, but he's up to it, and England dominating the half-time.
They certainly are, and I think what they're saying is that anything Australia can do in midweek, we can do.
Yeah, it'll be